General Hospital spoilers tease that the romance between Jason and Sasha is truly exploding. It's no longer just mutual understanding between two people who have endured too much loss, but it's developing into a relationship full of depth, both warm and complex. In the early days after the shocking incident that led Michael to leave Port Charles for treatment, Jason was always by Sasha's side, not as a hero or a replacement, but as someone who truly understood the pain she was carrying. He didn't ask too many questions, nor did he force anything, but quietly supported, protected, and was there whenever she needed him. This affection grew with each encounter, each silent moment of shared understanding. Particularly, when Jason decided to take on the role of the baby's father, Michael and Sasha's biological child, to help her avoid pressure from the Quartermain family and the media, it became a pivotal moment that deepened their bond. Jason wasn't just a support, but became the one person who made Sasha feel alive again, able to look towards the future instead of being stuck in grief and torment. While their relationship has not been publicly acknowledged, it's clearly evolving into something more than mere support. The affectionate glances, gentle touches, and near-constant presence spoke volumes. Sasha found in Jason a kind of love she'd never known, a love that wasn't flashy, controlling, but was nurtured through understanding and respect. Jason, the man who seemed indifferent to the world, was opening up to Sasha in a way he rarely did with anyone since losing his loved ones. However, just as this affection was beginning to mature, a major event threatened everything they had built. Michael unexpectedly returned to Port Charles. After a long period of burn treatment in Germany, he came back determined to reclaim his position in the lives of those he once trusted. But what Michael found upon his return wasn't a family that had settled after the turmoil. It was Jason, his close friend and brother, holding the baby and standing beside Sasha as a true father. The feeling of being replaced, betrayed, and pushed out of his own life began to overwhelm Michael. While he had agreed before to let Sasha raise the child alone, that didn't include Jason stepping into the father role, and perhaps even into Sasha's heart. Everything seemed to have been reset without him, and that was something Michael couldn't easily accept. The anger building inside him could erupt at any moment, especially as he realized that the life he should have had was now being lived by someone else. Jason, though always acting for the greater good, may find it difficult to explain this time. What he's done, despite being out of a desire to protect, has led him deep into a relationship with Sasha, one that he can't deny is becoming something real. He knows that Michael's return will trigger a chain reaction, and the one thing he's not ready to face is the question, am I stealing Michael's chance at fatherhood? And can the love he has for Sasha survive in the storm of truth? As for Sasha, she is caught between two men, one the father of her child, who has caused her both pain and hope, the other, the man who saved her from falling apart. She knows Michael deserves to know the truth, but she also doesn't want to lose Jason, the one person who has made her believe that she could love and be loved again. A new chapter in Sasha's life is opening, but not with relief, but with intense inner conflict, as her heart is pulled in two different directions, and she's uncertain who she truly needs beside her. Michael's return, just as the love between Jason and Sasha is blossoming, is not only an emotional shock, but also the spark for deep conflicts within the Quartermain family, between responsibility, love, and loyalty. And when the three of them stand before each other, nothing is simple anymore, nothing is right or wrong in the absolute sense. Only a difficult truth remains. One child who doesn't know where they truly belong, and three people trapped between the past and the future, with a present where no easy assumptions can be made. Sunny and Carly are gradually returning to the center of the family, but in a completely different role, not as the hard-nosed decision-makers they once were, but as parents trying to mend the deep rifts within their family, especially as they watch Michael return with a heart full of anger, hurt, and a sense of betrayal. Both Sunny and Carly quickly realize that, after all the losses and turmoil they've faced, Michael is the one who needs their support the most, not just because he is their son, but because he is standing in the midst of a battle whose consequences they cannot fully predict. However, just as Sunny and Carly try to support Michael and encourage him to stand strong after the storm, Sasha chooses a completely different path. Once closely involved with Michael, Sasha now wants no deeper involvement in the power struggles, hatred, and dangers surrounding the Quartermain family. The confusion surrounding her child, Jason, and the truth that's yet to be revealed is suffocating her. Sasha doesn't want her child to grow up in such a tense environment, where every decision is dictated by fame, loyalty, and powerful names. She wants to live in peace, without being pulled into revenge plots or endless confrontations. Ironically, her desire to step away from the chaos only makes things more complicated. Jason, who is becoming more and more attached to Sasha, is dragged into the center of Michael's doubts and resentment. Though he always acts for noble reasons, to Michael, the closeness between Jason and Sasha, Jason taking on the role of father to the baby, and even showing signs of affection towards her, is a stab in the trust they had built over the years. The tension between Jason and Michael is escalating dangerously, as both carry silence and unspoken words. Michael feels betrayed, not just because his best friend seems to have replaced him as the father, but also because Jason didn't tell him the truth from the start. Jason feels torn, between loyalty to Michael and his protection of Sasha, between duty and personal feelings. The prolonged silence between them is no longer about respect, it's becoming a cold wall, making it harder for either of them to return to how things were. The current situation is creating a series of adjustments in the relationships around Port Charles, especially among key characters. Sasha, with her desire to live peacefully, is now at risk of losing both the most important men in her life. Jason is faced with a difficult choice, whether to maintain his role as protector, or step back to repair a broken relationship with Michael. As for Michael, with new support from his parents, he is becoming increasingly isolated emotionally, unable to accept that the people he once trusted have changed so quickly after his absence. Things are going further than ever, not just because of the things said, but because of the unsaid, the silent choices, and the sacrifices that seemed right but only complicated everything further. Port Charles is about to witness a showdown not only between people, but between values, family, truth, loyalty, and trust. And when those are torn apart by pressure and hurt, the question remains, is there still room for forgiveness, or will everything shatter before anyone can reach out to save it? Sasha is no longer the woman easily swept along by the decisions of others. After everything she's been through, loss, pain, recovery, and rebirth, she now stands stronger than ever, and this is most evident in her choice to stand by Jason, despite Michael's tense return and the scrutinizing gazes from the Quartermain family. Sasha knows exactly what she's doing, and she believes Jason is the only one who deserves to be by her side right now, not just because he has protected her throughout this time, but because, in Jason, she finds peace amidst the chaos. Sasha's choice is sparking one of the biggest changes in the current storyline. As rumors about her relationship with Jason begin to spread, and the silence they've maintained can no longer shield them from prying eyes, Jason makes a pivotal decision, to publicly acknowledge himself as the father of Sasha's child. No longer a cover-up or a quiet story of protection, Jason chooses to stand up for Sasha openly, accepting the pressure, consequences, and the impending conflicts that will erupt. Jason's acceptance of the child is not only a statement of responsibility but a powerful declaration of his feelings. He can no longer hide his love and attachment to Sasha. To him, this is no longer a duty, it is a choice of the heart. With this decision, a wave of profound changes begins to ripple through relationships in Port Charles. Michael, despite having previously given Sasha the right to raise the child on her own, will find it difficult to accept that Jason, the man he once trusted completely, has stepped into the father role, a role that should have been his. This not only touches on personal wounds but also threatens to shatter the bond between him and Jason. From the Quartermain family's side, Jason's proactive stance sparks a series of debates. Some will see it as a noble act, an effort to protect the child's reputation and rights. But there will also be those, especially those who have always been skeptical of Sasha, who will question whether this relationship hides something bigger, or if Jason is deliberately trying to take a place that doesn't belong to him. Regardless, Jason's actions make it clear that the time for change has come. No longer the man quietly acting in the shadows, he now steps into the light, ready to face all consequences for a woman he believes in. And with Sasha by his side, ready to hold his hand no matter what, they are becoming a new force, not only emotionally but also in their position within the family and community. What seemed like a quiet love story between Jason and Sasha is now reshaping the balance of power, trust, and emotions in Port Charles. And while Michael struggles with feelings of abandonment, Sunny and Carly try to calm the tensions within the family. Jason and Sasha, two people who have been broken, are building a new home on the ruins, with love, courage, and a truth that can no longer be hidden. A new chapter has begun, and this time, all eyes will be on them, not to judge, but to see if they can truly rewrite the definition of family, responsibility, and love in the midst of a storm. Michael is truly facing one of the most stressful and chaotic transitions in his life. After a period of stepping away to recover physically and emotionally, he is now forced to return to a world that has changed too quickly, where old relationships are cracking, once strong beliefs are faltering, and things he once thought were true are being ruthlessly challenged. Michael is not only returning to Port Charles with hopes of starting over but also carrying the obsession with fatherhood, responsibility, and the overwhelming burden weighing on his shoulders. What makes everything even more complicated is the renewed interaction between Michael and Willow, a relationship that once held much hope but is also filled with pain. Though the two have tried to heal, this return brings a flood of old emotions, love, regret, and mistakes yet to be forgiven. While Willow may be slowly opening up, she is beginning to ask herself, is Michael truly ready to devote himself entirely to his current family, especially to Wiley and Amelia? Or is he being pulled into an endless vortex of emotion and power? Meanwhile, Michael's claim to be the father of Sasha's child is quietly but clearly slipping away from him. When Jason, with Sasha's full emotional consent, steps forward to take on the father role, Michael is gradually being pushed out of the picture he once painted. Although he had previously agreed to let Sasha raise the child alone, the situation has changed. His absence, despite being for valid reasons, has inadvertently become an excuse for others to decide the child's future. And the truth is, while Michael is caught between his family obligations and his desire to regain his position, his claim to fatherhood is slipping from his grasp uncontrollably. Michael understands that Wiley and Amelia need him more than ever. After all the turmoil, what the children need most is not a father trying to regain custody of another child, but a present, stable father, wholly dedicated to the family. But this places Michael in a dilemma. If he stays with Wiley and Amelia, he must accept losing his connection to Sasha's child. But if he chooses to fight, then his two current children, the ones he swore to protect, will once again live in emotional deficit. One of the craziest adjustments is unfolding, and it's not coming from the outside, but from deep within Michael's soul. He has to face the reality that he cannot have it all. His feelings for Sasha have cooled, Jason has taken on a new role, and time is not waiting for anyone. Willow, who once suffered because of him, needs him to be a father, not the father of the past, but one for the present and future. But Michael's heart is still struggling to let go of the idea of a child who shares his blood, a child he can no longer officially call his own. Port Charles has never made relationships simple, and this time is no different. Michael is facing a complete shift in his role, emotions, and responsibilities. He is no longer Sunny's only heir, no longer the man at the center of every family plan. Now, he is a father separated from a child he never got to fully embrace, an ex-husband trying to regain a position in Willow's heart, and a son needing to please his parents amid impossible choices. And from these fractures, the battle for identity, love, and redemption will begin, as Michael must decide, will he continue chasing a part of the past that's fading away, or will he stand still, embrace the present, and start over, with Wiley, with Amelia, and with the person he's starting to forget on his journey to reclaim what's been lost? Willow remains firm in her stance that she cannot easily forgive Sasha, not just because of the affair with Michael but also because of the deep betrayal of trust between two women who once considered each other friends. Though she's tried to stay calm, tried to find a mature path through the pain of the past, Willow cannot accept that Sasha, the woman who once stood by her in her most fragile moments, is quietly returning to Michael, especially when both of them are still struggling in their marriage. For Willow, it's not just a mistake in love, it's a cut straight through her heart, which was already broken from loss, sacrifice, and misplaced trust. The battle between Willow and Sasha is quietly simmering, not through shouting or physical confrontations, but through cold stares, the tension in each word, and an atmosphere so heavy that those around them can barely breathe. Willow, who's typically gentle and composed, is beginning to reveal another side of herself, strong, relentless, and uncompromising, especially when it comes to matters of love and family. She's fought too hard to hold on to Wiley and Amelia, to regain her health, and to find balance after all the hurt. And now, standing before Sasha, the woman who not only took Michael from her but also has a child that could threaten her children's place. Willow no longer wants to be lenient. Sasha, too, is no longer the easy target she once was. The pain has made her stronger, sharper, and though she feels guilty, she doesn't want to bow her head forever. Especially with Jason standing by her side, as their feelings for each other grow clearer, Sasha knows she must fight to protect what she has, even if it means directly clashing with Willow. This tension, over time, will no longer be just about two women, it will spread throughout the Port Charles community, dividing sides, forming factions, and even raising questions about who truly deserves to be with Michael and who is truly fit to be the mother of the innocent child. The storyline of General Hospital is truly exploding because of this confrontation. This is no longer a conflict of emotions, it's a battle of values, honor, and the right to be a mother, to be a partner to one of the central characters, Michael. Those who once thought Willow always chose the gentle path, avoiding conflict, will now be stunned by her sharp determination and unyielding self-respect. And those who once sympathized with Sasha, who supported her through the death of Liam, will begin to wonder, is she really seeking happiness, or is she reaching for something that doesn't belong to her? Amidst the divisions between Jason, Sunny, Carly, and the Quartermain family over opposing choices, the fight between Willow and Sasha will not end with mere words of criticism. It may lead to legal battles, struggles over custody, and even new revelations that could disrupt the entire storyline, including the true identity of the child, secrets Michael has never dared to speak, and the deep bond Jason is building, not just with Sasha but with the future of his family. All of this is just beginning. And once Willow decides not to forgive, Port Charles will no longer have a safe space for anyone involved.